Hi everyone, it's Ardith, and today I'm here with a fun technique using the new Mondo Wildflowers set from Essentials by Ellen. The full May release is now available in the shop, so be sure to check it out. I started by stamping the flower arrangement off all 4 of the edges of a panel of white cardstock. I started on the left, and then I turned the card so that I could stamp on the right edge, where I positioned the flowers so that they would still be kind of facing upwards. At this point, my plan was just to have a flat, fully colored panel. My die cutting idea came quite a bit later. Then I stamped the top and bottom with a different portion of the stamp, so that I had a good variety of flowers around the frame. I used light gray ink so that I could do some no-line coloring. This gray ink doesn't completely disappear under Copic coloring, which actually turned out to be a good thing later on. I started by coloring the tulips yellow, using 4 different shades of yellow Copics. No-line coloring isn't difficult, but you do have to be pretty dramatic in your contrast so that you can show the dimension and shading in the flowers. After the tulips, I did the leaves, some in a mix of yellow-greens and some with blue-green shades. And I'm not sure what those pink flowers are called, but I did them next, using the darkest shade of pink to really build shadows at the base of each petal. And I love these tiny little blossoms. Again, I'm not sure what they're called, but I colored their centers with 2 shades of purple Copics to give them a rounded look. After all that, I'm not sure if I really thought that I didn't need much more color or if I was just getting tired, but I decided to leave the rest of the flowers white. Of course, that doesn't mean without color. I grabbed my toner grays and I added shading to them as well, and in the end, I was happy with the look and the balance of color over the panel. I used a pale blue marker to color in the background of the whole panel. I really wanted some contrast to make everything pop, especially between those white flowers in the background. I don't know if you've tried this, but it's not always easy for me to get perfectly smooth coverage over a large area like this. I took my time and I went over it a number of times, but it still had a few streaks in it. When I have a situation like this, I find often that the best solution is to just go with it and really own it, you know? So I got out my 0 marker and I made dots all over the background. My marker is really juicy and it actually lifts some of the color, giving that background a bokeh look. You can dot quickly and slowly so that the lighter dots are all different sizes, adding a lot of subtle interest and doing a really great job of hiding the fact that the background wasn't smooth. At this point, I started to think about putting the card together. I used the matching die to cut out the 4 flower arrangements so that I could pop them up and add a bit of dimension to the card. And then a thought hit me. I could cut out the remaining background bit with a rectangle die. Of course, when I cut it, it didn't look at all like a rectangle because the flower bits were missing from it. But once I started putting it back together on the card, I thought it looked really neat. The flowers seemed to extend beyond the rectangle and into the border. Cool, right? To finish the card, I stamped one of the sentiments from the set with black ink, and I added a few more of those little flowers with one of the small stamps that's included. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up below and subscribe for even more inspiration. Product links are below and also on my blog. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.